as well. I don't always do these calls, so I'm excited to be here and to connect with you. And I like to see people, and I don't know how to do that. So, but um, so what's different about the Divine Woman is it's super fresh, is one of the differences. Super fresh because it's herbs that have been grown here on mine and my husband's property, here in Connecticut, actually. And so we grow the herbs in a season. So this is chamomile that is being grown this season that we're still harvesting. But everything that's in this bottle that is out for you all now was harvested la just last season. And what is beautiful about that is it just has this potency and this aliveness to it. All the Annmarie products are amazing and have beautifulness to it, but this one just has this little special extra because it's harvested from us, from our hands. It's harvested by our kids. We have a very small community that works behind the scenes here, and we put some incredible intentions behind it. And I am this earth mama that just loves being in the earth and being with the plants. And I speak to them, they speak to me. It just has this give and take kind of piece to it. So I would love for us to do this with all the products, but now learning, we've been doing farming now for maybe 7 years, learning how, much goes into it. I think this just makes it really special that we can get this one to you all.
Yeah, it is super, super fresh. So if you're hopping on, as we're kind of getting started here, we're talking about our Divine Woman, which is a facial oil that we only launch once a year. We do this because Anne-Marie and her little team are growing the herbs that we put into this. Before I get too far into like the nitty-gritty and like all the interesting things about it, I do want to invite Grace in. And Grace, do you want to tell us what we're offering with the Divine Woman today?
Yes, because it's very exciting because it's exclusively to you on the call. But we are offering 20% off the Divine Woman Elixir for only a couple hours. I will go ahead and put it in the chat right now. The code is ASC Divine 2026, and the code is live until 3 p.m. Pacific time today. So you should be all good to go. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you, Grace. And one thing I'll emphasize with the discount for this product, because this is a product that we only launch once a year, we only launch it in a very small kind of batch. We do about 500 bottles. So they don't normally have discounts that are eligible. And so if you're watching this later, if you're on the YouTube or this is coming out in a different communication, the promo is closed. Stay tuned, hop on for the next season's launch, all that. But this promo does end in a couple hours. I don't remember what time Grace said. 3 p.m. Pacific time today. So take note if you're interested. Really good time to get it. Because the other thing with this product is when it sells out, it's gone. We don't replenish this one until we launch the next one next year. So Annmarie, I want to hear a little bit about some of the like star herbs that are in the Divine Woman.
Yes, this year we have lots of rose, and I feel like rose has been kind of a theme throughout Amory Skincare for the year, which is really fun. So, I don't actually personally grow rose. We have wild rose that's just out on our property, and a lot of my neighbors kind of tame it, and I'm like, bring them over
Mm.
here. And the fun thing about that wild rose is that it really only shows its face for about a week and a half. Like it just blooms. It has a very short bloom to it. And if you're not harvesting and take and using that, it's gonna kind of go away. So I get to expand the face of those flowers because of us taking them. If there's any gardeners that are here, and I will get into like the benefits of all the wonderful herbs too, but just like this is part of the passion of this product for me is actually working with these plants one-on-one. Um, and when you're working with flowers, deadheading or harvesting them, cutting them, the more you cut, the more they give. The more these plants
Mm.
give back to us. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like this give and take. And I feel like reciprocity has been a word that's been used too. And it's something that I've been kind of personally trying to do within my own life. Um, and it's a give and take because of the more you take, the more it produces, and the prettier, and then their face just lasts longer. So it's fun to kind of see that. And then we also harvested rose from a friend's farm. I have a dear friend that is also here in Connecticut, and they have a flower farm. It's called Rising Iris Farm, and she grows a ton of different flowers for different reasons. And we've kind of had a little mentorship going where I'm teaching her about product and product development, and my husband's teaching her about business side of things, where she's always been my like go-to on how do I start this seed and how do I plant this? And
Mm.
so it's really been so not only is there a give and take with the plants, but there's this like give and receive with some other local farmers. So I have rose from there. But rose in itself for our skin is super hydrating. There's vitamin C in it. It's super soothing and calming. And Kate can speak more of like of the actual plant itself, but it just has all these, and it's really good for our hearts. Like just
Mm.
rose itself. I love rose so much. My daughter's middle name is Rose.
Mm.
So it just has like so much to give to you all.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So Rose is a pretty key player this in this season's batch. And Rose for the skin is a really potent floral. It's very helpful in sustaining kind of resilient skin. So skin that will have a little bit of a strength, a little bit of bounce back to it. And Rose has been a product that, if you've been hanging out with us this year, you've probably seen us launch several things that are either pretty rose based or have rose as a key component to it. So I feel like this is very on just like the frequency with what Annmarie's doing this year. I know another herb that you had mentioned was comfrey, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, tell me
Yeah.
more about the comfrey.
So comfrey is a plant that just has so many wonderful healing properties, not only for skincare, but also for like wound care and other things that really supports the body. And something that's super easy to grow, and it will take over your garden if you let it. It will just like, completely take over. So we have that. We use the roots here, and we also use the leaves. And the roots are, when you're harvesting them, you can kind of feel them on your fingers, how soft and gooey and smooth they are. And it's a noticeable thing about the plant that can, it's almost like when you touch aloe, like you know that it's
Mm.
going to be really hydrating and soothing. It's filled with allotonins that are kind of renewing and also very hydrating and soothing, and loads of minerals. And I have a fun story to share about comfrey because before skincare, my husband and I lived in an RV. Yes, hippies, I'm still a hippie. Um, we lived in an RV and we traveled the country, and he is and was a journalist, and I was this hands-on healer. I was a personal trainer and massage therapist, and we just wanted to learn. And how we did that was by going to people and interviewing them and just learning their ways. And one stop that we had in our RV trip was we stopped at Turtle Refuge Lake Center, which is in Durango, Colorado, and we spent some time there. And it was an herbal farm, but also an intentional community, and it had some other and there was a founder of it. Her name is Katrina Blair. Unfortunately, she is now gone, and
Mm.
she is one of my former teachers. And that was where I first learned about comfrey. It was back in probably 2007. This was before skincare companies started. And she, I don't know if it was her that called it or someone that worked with her around there, but they called it the knit bone plant
Hmm.
because of when you're knitting something, you're taking all the pieces and you're putting it together. And that's one of the fabulous things about this plant is that it takes all the pieces and it kind of forms something more congruent.
Mm.
and kind of helps with healing and structure and all of that. I just thought that would be fun kind of to share.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I love getting to talk about the product because we get so much of a backstory of like a little bit of the lore or the legend supporting, the choice to grow some of these herbs or stories behind some of these herbs that then are in the product that our customers receive. And so that's really, really lovely. And for those who are kind of just trickling in here, we're talking about our Divine Woman, which is a facial oil that we launch once a year, and this is the size of it. We do have a promo going on just today. And I mentioned when Grace came in and was talking about the details of it. We don't offer discounts on this one very often because it is a limited edition, because we don't relaunch, this particular batch once it sells through. So we've got promo info in the chat, coupon code ASC Divine 26 just for that Divine Woman Elixir, and it does shut off at 3 o'clock Pacific today. So really, really great time to shop if you're curious. We were kind of checking in when we started the call, seeing how many people had used it before, and a lot of you hadn't. So yeah, it's a good time to kind of weave that in.
Take a
Um,
moment and just like highlight the artwork that's on here.
yeah,
Yeah, Chandra, our graphic designer, is just like so incredible because it's literally a hand holding herbs, and this is the comfrey, I believe, that she's trying to represent, and then the lavender, and then the echinacea, which is in there too, the coneflower, and I
yeah.
just love, I admire it every year it comes out. I'm like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, it is really lovely. That is a detail that I feel like I could spend more time with is the art on here. Thank you, Chandra. I think she's on.
Yeah,
She's
thank you,
listening.
Chandra.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, she's put some hearts in the chat. I know feverfew was something else that was like a topic of interest. And feverfew is a really interesting one for me because I know that we didn't have it in our batch last year, right?
We did. It was St. John's
Oh, we
wort.
did.
It wasn't.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Which is not again in our batch, which is
Gotcha.
interesting. That's one of the things about kind of the uniqueness of this is that every year it's gonna give us something a little bit different because we're just going with the way nature has intended for our for us. Because you can't like you can only, manage things so much. And unfortunately, St. John's wort hasn't had an appearance. I just can't grow it.
Mm,
It actually showed up in our garden this year, which is so fun, randomly that I didn't even try to plant. And
uh-huh.
but it is one of those wild herbs, and I could if I wanted to, because it's everywhere, go and harvest it in the wild. But I haven't taken the time to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but feverfew is this lovely little, teeny little, oh, here, let me hold on, let me be right back. I only
Yay.
try here.
I love when we get to see the florals
It's
and
raining today, or else I'd be doing it. Actually, it might have stopped raining, but it looks like chamomile. We don't have much time. Okay, this is the
mm,
dried. It looks like chamomile is this little ray of sunshine. They're so cute. Little teeny daisies, really.
mm,
So,
yeah.
so sweet. And we use the flower, we use the stems and the leaves to this one. And feverfew is really helpful for sensitive skin. I think kind of that's the main thing, and that's what one thing about this is this product is for everybody, for those that have sensitive skin or more mature skin, and even because it's the main oil that's in here is jojoba, and jojoba kind of works with our sebum, so it really gives us a good balance. So it's just for everybody, and yeah, feverfew in itself. Um, and it also can help support more even complexion.
Mm, mhm.
So that's kind of lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I love feverfew. I'm seeing some questions come in, and a couple that I've seen a couple times I want to speak to, where some folks are asking, how is this different than the anti-aging facial oil, and or can you use this in place of the anti-aging facial oil? It so the Divine Woman is different in, the kind of primary thing is part of this formulation process. So with the anti-aging, where is mine? The anti-aging facial oil. We work with very, very highly vetted suppliers. So they're doing their thing, growing their plants and herbs and seeds, and then we get them from them, and then we put them into the product. With the Divine Woman, we're kind of getting to skip this middleman process. So Annmarie is growing these on her family farm, the herbs, the comfrey, the feverfew, these herbs that we've been talking about, and then we're getting them. So the freshness of the Divine Woman is one of the most unique sensations of all of our products. And all of our products are going to feel fresh. We're using very, very high end, like I said, highly vetted herbs and seeds. Now, the formulations, so both of these oils do start with a golden jojoba. And so for dry skin, for mature skin, skin starting to just experience fine lines or creasing, it's a really supportive one for that. Now, the anti-aging is formulated with broccoli seed and chia seed and goji berry. It's very nutritious and very just supportive for the skin, kind of as this like supplement overall. Great for creasing, great for fine lines. Um, Skin types that I really love to suggest the Divine Woman for our skin types that are dry, our skin types that are experiencing fine lines or creasing, and then kind of the nuance of like if you get any realm of sensitivity, if you're prone to redness, if you're prone to reactivity, if you sometimes the skin's a little bit more sensitive than others, the herbs in this one can be particularly calming. That aren't included in the anti-aging facial oil. So what that can look like is it might be that, for a period of time you have replaced your anti-aging facial oil with the Divine Woman. It could look like you've got one in the morning and one in the evening, something like that. If you really wanted to, you could mix them and kind of get the best of both, but likely I would say, pick one and use that one. Probably the Divine Woman while it's like fresh and brand new. But yeah, and it's going to be your moisturizer, so it is still your moisturizing step in your routine there. Um, and yeah, use it as that facial oil there. So hopefully that answered some of those questions coming in. We've still got a good 10 minutes. It's a good time to kind of be putting some questions in, about really anything. But Annmarie, I know one of the things that you had also mentioned was wanting to talk a little bit about your team, folks who are, working with the herbs and plants and all of that.
One of the great pieces of this is kind of not forcing is the wrong word, but allowing us to slow down and connect more. So I already said with the community, this year, last season, I worked with one-on-one with a eighth grader at one of the local schools who wanted to do a project, and she kept reaching out, and I'm like, yes, of course. So once a week, we would get together, and she'd come, she'd help with harvesting, she'd help learn about the products, she'd help, and then we made products together. We made balms, we made oils, we made infusions. So it was just like a lovely way to like kind of bring more to the story of this because this product allows me to do that, to spend that time, to slow down my day and to spend that time with one person. And I talk about this all the time. I have my husband Kevin, who is amazing in that he just reaches out and does these big, amazing things, and we work so well together because he has those big visions, and I love keeping it kind of smaller and slower, intentional. Not that his isn't intentional, his is very intentional. And it's just kind of a wonderful blend to be able to do that and connect. And now this summer we have a high schooler doing the same thing. And
Mm.
I have I'm a grad student who is in school for psychology, and she's come, this is her second or third summer now, and she's just loving gardening and has now is creating her like thesis is going to be on working with clients in the garden and how the garden can help with mental health. It can help with addiction. It can help with so many different things. So just
Wow.
being able to like give that to one or two people is really meaningful to me.
Yeah, that's potent. I love, yeah, that's all really so lovely. And one of the things that I love about our brand, and I've been here for 7 going on 8 years, is just every piece of it is so human forward. Which is extra valuable in this season where we're all trying to figure out AI and where the
Mm.
technology goes and that whole
Mhm.
thing. And so just more of these little pieces, woven into the brand that are human focused and connection focused. And like we've kind of been talking about this synergistic relationship. Um, so yeah, just beautiful. Uh,
Yeah.
Let me come in here. I know some of these questions have popped in. I do want to also note that we've got a consult. There's a group consult that's happening right after this call. So if we don't get your questions answered, join us on that one. Grace will pop the link in the chat here. And there'll be a little bit more spaciousness to dive into kind of broader questions. So things that maybe aren't specific to the divine woman. But let me scroll up here. The scent profile. Actually, Annmarie, do you want to kind of speak to that? So Janice has
Mhm.
asked, like, what's the scent profile like?
The scent profile is very earthy. It has its lavender and lemon verbena and holy basil. And not
Mm.
only is it earthy, it kind of reminds me of being out into the garden. With many of the Annmarie products do that already. But it also, with the holy basil in it, it also has that touch on taking that aromatherapy and that plant kind of touching on our hearts and our beings and bringing calmness. And same with the lavender, kind of bringing calmness to us.
Mm, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, Janice, very kind of heart-centered scent profile.
Yeah. Very
Uh,
heart-centered and a little bright because of the lemon verbena, which is
nice.
so that's a fun plant to to
Uh,
grow. It's so fragrant.
yeah, cool. Kay, I do want to answer your question. So, Kay, you've asked, how does it compare to the rejuvenating facial oil? So the rejuvenating facial oil is another really potent aging, kind of anti-aging oil. This one's part of the Wild Alchemy collection. The rejuvenating has a really unique craft process. So kind of a lot of pieces of this are going to be different. It does still start with the golden jojoba. With the rejuvenating, we go through this process where instead of doing the same kind of routine of steeping herbs into the oil, we have added concentrated versions of, whatever it is, butterfly pea flower, blue tansy, black cumin seed. So the end result with the rejuvenating facial oil is you get this very potent, kind of highly concentrated anti-aging facial oil, anti-aging in the function of the kind of the blend of these and the herbs and seeds and florals that we're choosing are also going to be very directly supporting things like drooping, creasing, and fine lines. So it's a different kind of composition and different formulation process. They can definitely still both be used in the same routine, and I think my advice would be pretty similar to the anti-aging in that you might opt to use the Divine Woman for a while. You might alternate. The rejuvenating is a really nice one overnight. When you're hitting your REM sleep and that skin is very, very open and receptive. But either one of them is going to be really lovely at any point as a moisturizer. So that's kind of how that one is different. We've got just a few minutes here, and I do want to just kind of, I suppose, button up some of these concepts. So we're talking about our Divine Woman facial oil, which is a product that we launch once a year. And it is unique in that the herbs we use in this product, Annmarie grows. So the quality of this is incredibly fresh. The feel of this is, I think fresh is like the best word. I've often kind of used the analogy that if you've ever gotten eggs like fresh from a farm versus eggs from a store, you might still get some fresher eggs and they're lovely, but they feel different, they taste different. It just is a different experience getting very, very fresh eggs. And the oil, I think, is quite similar in that. I'm just looking through some of these questions here. A lot of these I might direct to the consult that's coming after, since like they're a little broader here. And
I
Grace,
have a question.
I
Are
want,
we doing a giveaway? Normally you guys all do giveaways. Can we do a giveaway?
well, I would love to do a giveaway. So what we usually do at the giveaways, we ask a question. If you're new here, we ask a question and then you answer, and then Grace or you or I pick a response. So Annmarie, do you have a question?
I
Is this
do.
Yeah, okay, do it.
What is your favorite herb? Whether it's for skin or for
Hmm.
to cook with or and give a little explanation.
Yay, perfect. Okay, cool. So
And
we'll give
Mary,
this.
I'll have you pick the winner because how fun.
Okay.
The giveaways are my favorite part. We kind of go in and out of doing them these days, but I love it. Chamomile, lavender.
So basil, rose,
Yeah, basil.
cannabis.
Nice. Holy basil. Cumin.
So love holy basil.
Rosemary.
Okay, what do I pick now? It's hard to choose.
You pick whenever you're ready. I feel like sometimes you just know. Like there's like,
Okay.
okay, that's the one.
Okay. Uh,
Lots of basil lovers. Love this.
I know. I'm gonna go with Lisa Patterson, holy basil. I use for my sleep.
Lisa. Congrats. Okay, Grace, how do you wanna direct us with what we do here?
Yes. So Lisa, very exciting for you. If you want to go ahead and email us at ask@annmariegianni.com, I've let our customer care team know that you are writing in for your product. And I will put that email address in the chat as well, but that would be the best way to get the
Yeah,
ball.
this is.
Burp, burp, burp. Perfect. Okay, so she's getting the email on the chat. Lisa, shoot us an email. We'll get your info and then get that sent out to you. Um, Otherwise, we're kind of wrapping up in our time here. Anne-Marie, any last thoughts you want to put out there as we're kind of closing this one out?
Just to thank everyone again for being here and to thank the team that has done so much with Amory Skincare and to thank the plants for giving us so much nutrition and beauty and softness to our skin.
Mm-hmm. I received that. Thank you. Thank you for all of you hopping on today. Grace, if you want to pop the chat in, or not the chat, the Zoom for the consult one more time. There were a lot of questions that we didn't get to. So if you want to, if you've got the time, hop over to that call. Emily's going to be walking through some products and she'll be available to get into a lot more things there. So yeah, cool. That's in the chat. So thank you everyone for hopping on. It's lovely to see familiar faces. It's lovely to see new faces. And yeah, happy shopping. Again, that code shuts off at 3 o'clock Pacific. So now's your moment. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you guys on another one. Thank you, Anne Marie. This was lovely.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye, guys.